We're back.
All right.
We're back.
Thank y'all so much for sticking with us through our little break. Um, when we left our heroes, they had cleared the nest out of vampire cultists. They had found Anthony Miles. Anthony Miles and his voodoo queen had vanished through a portal. Our heroes discovered that killing the remaining vampire cultists was probably not a great plan, and they are now on their way back to Arcade HQ with a bunch of captives, a unsuspecting wizard from another reality, and a bunch of notes that suggest that the Voodoo Queen may be using voodoo tradition, but is not contacting Loa, but is instead contacting the Great Old Ones, because, sure, that's fine. Um, when the transport arrives, like I said, it takes the remaining vampires back to the arcade headquarters. You all make your way back there under your own power of whatever vehicles or magics you wish to use. Carrie doesn't have anywhere to go because she's already there.
Yes, indeed.
And when the transport arrives, there is a Chinese man, Agent Tony Fong, who shows up to take custody of the prisoners. I will share a picture of Tony with all of y'all. And Dutch's team is going to go elsewhere with Henry very insistently being like, I need to work on this Ankh and figure out what happened to Alyssa. But Dutch and Angel will sit down with all of you for kind of a debrief. Director Vance is still dealing with her granddaughter, so
yeah, that's fair.
So Angel will kind of look to Dutch, who's just kind of sitting there with a what look on his face, and then look over to the 5 of you that she knows, plus Anson, and says, all right, who wants to tell me what happened? Not you. What?
Well, so we were, how far back you want to go?
Maybe we should just start
Since
with
we left here, and after we dropped off your granddaughter, sorry.
No, you're talking to Angel, not to Director Vance.
So we followed the plan. Followed the guy to the nest. Before he was able to actually get into the nest, Dutch and his team attacked and dropped him. We had a bit of a conversation where Dutch told us that him going off half-cocked is normal, so you shouldn't have worried. And then we proceeded to clear out the nest. We saw 2 people down in the nest that clearly seemed to be behind it all. One was Dutch's old buddy, whose name has suddenly left Brandon's mind.
Mr. Anthony Miles.
Anthony Miles. And the other was, Brandon is not sure whether or not we received the other name in character.
I believe he called her T Malice.
He called her T Malice. I heard.
Okay, we did hear it in person. Was a T Malice. And they teleported away before we could do anything with them. We captured a bunch of the wannabe vampires. And when inspecting their escape path, it looks like T Malice is a practitioner of of voodoo with a slight twist. Rather than communicating with the Loa, she prefers beings with more inscrutable knowledge and tentacles.
And the captured cultists, Micah still believes are somehow connected to Mr. Miles,
Mhm.
so their well-being should remain a priority to some degree.
I do have a question for you, Dutch.
Hmm.
He did refer to you as brother, and well, I don't think it's that crucial. Is that literal, or is that just because of shared experience?
I mean, we were brothers in arms for the better part of a century before he went bad.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're not related,
Right.
but
I assumed that much, but just wanted to confirm.
family isn't just the people you share blood with.
Fair.
Which is ironic now that I think about it, because it sounds like he was sharing blood with a lot of people.
Well, yeah.
So you think that's the source of the power?
They did have traces of his blood, or a similar type of blood, right?
I imagine Dutch
Well,
and
it
Mr.
was
Miles share the same markers in their
it was
genetic
Dutch
makeup.
plus. Carrie, did you ever do the analysis of that drink?
Sure.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, I'm assuming that she probably that's what, she was running tests while having her cameras follow you guys around. So I would assume
Sure.
that she's probably running tests on the various things that she's acquired. We haven't officially done it in game. She has
No, we
not
haven't.
said.
So, how about you give me your choice of expertise science or expertise magic?
Well, fun fact, I don't have expertise science. It's robotics, so I will use magic. And that is, where am I? An 18.
Okay. So the drink was almost entirely just an incredibly potent cocktail. There was an enchantment on it for taste and alcoholic potency. Nothing insidious, but just that would make it just taste, like the drink of the gods, and get you drunk as hell if you're actually susceptible to poison. However, in addition to the drink, there was a infinitesimally small trace amount of blood that was similar to the blood samples from both Dutch and from the vampire cultists.
What would the effect of that have been?
I don't know. You can give me a blood sample and I can test.
You don't have 3 already?
Well, I mean, not after you've taken the drink, although it's probably well out of your system at this point.
Well, actually,
I mean, you want. I mean,
It wouldn't be a terrible precaution.
so one thing that you will also have noticed, unlike the blood from the cultist, and unlike Dutch's blood, there is a slight mutagenic property to this blood.
The blood in the glass?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The amount it's one of those things where you don't think a single drop of blood would be enough to transform someone, but you get the idea that it would build up over time.
Get you hooked on the drink and then get you.
Coming in with a dealer mentality.
In game mechanics, it is a very, very, very weak transform effect that only triggers when the third degree hits, but it is both cumulative and incurable.
Okay. So if I had failed that fortitude save,
You'd be a vampire. Or not a vampire, but
You'd be
Whatever.
a vampire.
yeah.
You get superpowers.
although most PCs will never fail it by 3 degrees with a single exposure.
Yeah.
Now, minions,
That's another story.
right. But
But also we'll need accommodations for Mr. Walker and his friend.
yeah, who the hell are you?
That's a weird thing to explain. He kind of came out of a portal while we were in the middle of busting the nest. And we decided that because he thinks we were in France for a moment when we said we were in New Orleans. We
You
are
just hear
not letting him-
Harper start giggling. Harper, by the way, has just taken up residence in the middle of whatever table is in this room.
Yeah.
Just cross-legged, crisscross applesauce in the middle of the table with papers all around her.
Yep. We decided that I don't think I want to. We want to have him wandering the streets by himself.
They
Can he
seem
not
to be
speak for himself? I know you said that he thought you were in France, but I'm assuming he speaks English.
I don't like him.
Indeed, I speak English. I believe I have stumbled into an alternate universe
and time.
and time. I'm originally from 1933.
Yeah, you're about 90 years off.
Oh, a straight answer finally.
We told you it was 2023.
About a century, but yeah.
To be fair, you guys also told him that it was France. So
Yeah, this
Nope.
New Orleans. Did something happen to Old
Nope,
Orleans?
nobody ever told him it was France.
No,
Yeah.
it's always been such.
Orleans is still in France. New Orleans, though, has been a city in the United, well, I guess parallel dimension. New Orleans has been a city here in the United States for quite some time.
Is it in a swamp in the river delta of the Mississippi River?
Yes.
There is a city like that where I come from. It's called Bonchance. That's where I'm from originally.
There you
Well,
go.
a plantation outside of the city, but
That sounds just legally distinct enough to be about right.
so it's 2023. I need to return to my time and place.
Oh, how did you get here?
You said you came through hell or Tartarus, as it were.
Yes,
Aaron,
there is an entity that I am in opposition to called the Avatar of Entropy. And in a last-ditch effort to protect the universe from him destroying it, I pushed him into the pits of Tartarus along with myself, thinking I would die. I didn't. I've spent the last several months fighting my way out of Tartarus, but apparently it was 90 years in my own time.
Aaron, is Tartarus a multi-dimensional nexus?
Not the same Tartarus.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how did the other gentleman get in there with you, or did you pick up a
How
hitchhiker
did
along
you
the way?
end up in our Tartarus then?
That is a good question.
Or
I'm
did
not
you end
sure.
up in our Tartarus at all?
I don't believe I did.
It was
What
just
is your
across the
what is your
ocean.
idea of Tartarus? And we'll compare notes.
And I will give a very vivid description of what Tartarus is exactly like.
That is not my experience with Tartarus. None of the Greek gods would be powerful enough to lay claim to that domain all their own. Tartarus is sort of the shower drain at the end of the universe's recycle point. It's 7 layers deep, for one for each dimension that has been born and destroyed between each iteration.
It's been quite a long time since the Greek pantheon had any prominence in our world.
Are they dicks here too?
It depends on how you define prominence. Looking at you, Freedom City.
Well, if they don't have anybody to worship them, they can't be that powerful, right?
No,
Oh,
there are still plenty of people who worship them. And then there was the whole thing where Hades invaded Earth.
Uh,
Did that happen?
Hades invaded the Earth.
Wait, no. I'm
That's it.
mistaken. Brandon's mistaken.
But
He's-
I mean,
he's-
it
he's in-
is well known, or at least somewhat known that, wasn't it at least known that Wildcard's aunt was
That's
working?
not. That would not have made notice down here to you guys. No,
Okay.
I mean, the
Uh,
Hades invasion would be all over the news.
the
But
Hades
it did-
invasion would.
Yeah.
But it didn't actually happen in our continuity.
No.
Or
Yeah,
did
it would have happened in the 80s, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so Hades invaded and tried to take over the world.
I'm glad somebody stopped him.
Bunch of somebodies.
Yeah, as for Marcus, he's my brother-in-law and the son of the Avatar of Entropy, and the most recent host of it prior to being exorcised.
Oh,
He was pushed into the pit with me when we went. It was his body, but
and then you,
his father is not present, and it is my intention to ensure that he does not discover this universe unless he destroy all of you.
I mean, we'll just add him to the list. It's fine.
Right. This cosmic level stuff is way outside my pay grade.
Yeah.
Mr. Walker and Marcus, you are certainly welcome to stay here for as long as you need a place to stay. It sounds like your interests are at least aligned with ours, and we can give what resources we have towards helping you find a way home.
I assume there is a request coming up.
You don't seem like the type who needs to be asked to go kill monsters.
Generally, no.
Then
we do owe him $5 for tonight.
We do.
It was
What?
his rate.
It is a
We can-
$5 per DM generally.
What are you gonna buy with $5?
$5 isn't going to get you very far in 2023, but we can set you up with a stipend for living expenses and, like we said, a place to stay here.
How much do things cost now?
You can't even buy a cup of coffee with $5.
I was gonna say, like, you'd be lucky to get a meal or even like a snack.
You're pranking me.
No.
Afraid
No.
not.
Are
I mean,
you
I guess you
familiar
could
with inflation? Basic economic concept?
Yeah, that's that horrible thing that they did to Germany after World War One, right? Made everybody broke and rise
Yeah.
up, and
Yeah. Sure, we'll go with that.
Would he? Wait, so sorry, my timeline's weird. What did World War II happen?
I was going to say, would you even have a concept of
No,
World War One? It would just be the Great
no,
War.
Sorry, the
War
Great
One. It would
War.
be
Sorry.
the Great War.
War.
the Great War. I don't know about World War II. The Great War.
There's another one.
I'm a veteran of the Great War.
Yeah, so you say the Great
World War
War and we
One.
go, which one?
But I mean, I know how history works a little, so it's World War One.
There was. What do you mean one? There was another one.
Yes.
Oh yeah, about 20 years later.
after the first one because of things the first one did. Funny enough.
Were there
Dutch.
vampires in that one too?
There were vampires in the
probably.
first one?
Well, yeah, there was a whole kingdom of zombies and necromancers that rose up in Austria-Hungary and the remnants of the Eastern Front.
So that sounds like a much more interesting world war than we had than just
Yeah.
humans being horrible.
So anyway, old ones.
Dutch. I'm going to offer these people a job. Okay, why are you telling me? Because I'm going to offer you your job too. Angel, I'm not going to be in charge. Of course you're not. Is your team back? Well, yeah.
Does this happen often, Angel?
Not exactly.
I think the phrase is plausible deniability.
No.
Come on, dude. If you're not going to take the reins, you could at least not be a pain in her ass all the time.
The other issue is that, frankly, my team was decimated. Actually, no, sorry. Decimated actually has a meaning. And we took way more than 1/10 of our losses.
Literal man, I like this.
Woman.
Woman, I like this.
I commanded 2 teams of 20 agents. I now have 15 agents left between the two.
Ouch.
I'm guessing, since you didn't go rogue, that this means Miles was targeting us. That would be my assumption, yeah. So we need help. Even if your team's back, I want to bring them on as team 4. Makes sense to me. You're going to need to adjust the spell. Yeah, I'm going to need to adjust the spell, but guess what? We've got a lot of openings. Oh, that's true. You want me to call Henry, please? All right. Well, actually, before I call him up here, are you guys in?
Anybody feel like we're being given the worst promotion ever?
Little. I want to say yes, but I do have to add in the fact of I do have a day job. A lot
I
of
would have
us
preferred her. I would have preferred her not leading with the amount of people that are dead. But I also have a day job.
teachers.
Right.
I'm happy to be on when I can, but I do still have a little bit of a requirement of needing sleep to teach.
Yeah, well, you still can't possibly be more unreliable than Dutch and his team. Angel, what hurt?
He represents that remark.
Never have I been
seldom-
so offended by something I can't deny.
Tis seldom we find ourselves the opportunity to do good in this world, and it would be remiss of us not to accept it. And I think those here would gladly do what good they can, yes?
Okay. Don't speak for me,
That's why I ask.
but until the house is back, I'm all yours.
And of course, the same thing that we told Mr. Walker. This is not just we expect you guys to help out of the goodness of your hearts. We are able to provide, a salary, and for those of you who need it, living quarters.
How much salary are we talking here?
I mean, we're government agents. None of us are getting rich, but probably looking around 50, 60 a year.
$1,000. He means 50 or 60,000 a year.
She.
That what?
Yeah, I mean, it's a
Pretty small, but manageable.
modest, but you should be able to survive on it.
Everyone in
Lower
this time
middle.
period is a millionaire.
Oh,
No,
you
no,
wish.
we're not.
Oh,
No, in fact, do you remember what life was like about 20 years ago?
Okay, can we not get into a political discussion right now?
20
Just
years
saying,
ago
the new
for
Gilded
me or
Age.
20 years ago for you?
For you. You wouldn't know what it was like 20 years ago for me. Remember what the economics were like 20 years ago?
In 1913, the Gilded Age?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what it is now, but with robots.
I don't know what that means.
we'll talk later. I think that would be fun for all of us.
I have nowhere else to be. I'm in, and Marcus is more than willing to put himself to work for you too.
Just for clarification, Angel, are we both gonna get a salary?
Take that up with HR.
That sounds like a no.
That sounds like an outside of my expertise. Actually, that's a really interesting question.
They are two different people.
I'm not even worried about the economics. I'm wondering how it affects the balance of power.
The what?
Oh, right. So that's why we were trying. That's what we need Dr. Eastman up here for. When we approached you guys originally, we told all of you that you had done work for Arcade in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And you all remembered that you had done the work, but not that it was, you knew nothing about our organization. We are protected by a very powerful spell called the Balance of Power. No more than 200 people know about Arcade at any given time.
That feels like very dangerous magic.
Very potent magic. For the most part, it has kept us safe. None of you were included in that spell for the previous work you've done. So you remember doing work with us, but nothing about the organization. Obviously, if you're going to be working for us full time, that has to change.
You get to pick and choose who knows.
Well, yes, although there's plenty of... There are certainly powerful enough magical entities out there who are able to remember our existence without being included in the spell. But yes, we are able to pick and choose who is covered by the spell.
Does that involve Miles? Miles.
Miles,
That was my question.
yeah, Miles is no longer covered by the spell, but clearly he still remembers. Yeah, well, it's not like what happened to the two of us was exactly left us unchanged. Clearly. But
So
yes,
is everyone in this dimension two people, or is it just most of the people here?
What do you mean?
Well, there's Larry and the creature that he's carrying around with him.
Mm-hmm.
And you and Miles.
Or just one
Not
person.
Perhaps a misunderstanding what happened between the two of you.
So, not long after where your memories or where your history left off, me and Tony and a couple of other folks were involved in stopping a real nasty piece of work in Germany during the Second World War. And it changed all of us. There were 5 of us who survived. Me and Tony are the only ones who are still alive. But we were all changed.
Interesting.
Tony
Was it-
Miles, Anthony Miles, his name.
Possessed, right? Y'all were possessed.
No, not in the traditional sense. More tainted.
Mm.
But yeah, everyone else eventually went bad.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And frankly, Angel won't say it, but I'm sure part of the reason that Arcade wants to keep me close is in case I follow suit.
Would this spell that you were describing, would it remove Miles's memory of this place?
So it should. I mean, when we took his name out of those included, he should have forgotten, but clearly he didn't.
I guess the question is, does it modify memory or modify reality?
Memory, I think.
Definitely sounds like memory. I guess the question is, if there was a video recording, would it play?
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. Video evidence exists. It's people just don't notice or won't listen to it, won't hear it.
Mm.
Look, all right, Mr. Walker, this isn't going to make any sense to you. You ever watch Doctor Who?
Mhm.
You know the silence?
Yeah,
Okay. It's that.
gotcha. Of course,
Ben and
he's
Glory.
watched Doctor Who.
Sure, yeah.
Probably it's
Gotcha.
Doctor Whom.
No,
It's a radio
any
play
case.
with pictures.
I know what a movie is.
not a movie. Yeah.
Yes, but
Yeah,
if
but-
I had said a TV show,
Yeah, that one.
All right.
They added sound not too long ago.
That's okay.
Charlie Chaplin lost his
having
whole
a-
career.
I'm having a hard time adjusting to all the new technology as well. So things change. Things will change really quickly in about, I don't know, 40 years for you, in 40 years of your time.
You've been alive through all of it. How have you not adjusted?
Because it happens really quickly. Do you realize the first 2,000 years of my life, not much changed?
Oh,
Mm.
In
That's
the
fair.
last 40,
I still don't know how to drive a car, so I feel that.
oh my god.
Okay.
I see cars
soon
now.
they're going to drive themselves.
no,
That
they're very
seems
much not.
unsafe.
All right, I'm gonna get Henry up here to adjust the balance of power. Yeah. Anything else you need, Angel? I would ask for you to write up a report, but I realize that's not going to happen, is it? No, I can write something up.
I mean, if you show me what reports you need, I can just have I2D do it for us.
Sure, I'll get the form to you. I'm gonna go home and get a drink. Probably in that order. I'll see you all tomorrow. Or some of you. I guess you won't all be here, but
Have a good night.
Rest well.
Dutch will reach into his pocket, pull out a phone. Hey, Henry, can you come up here? We need to adjust the balance of power. They're bringing these newcomers on as Team 4. I'm a little busy, boss. Wherever she is, the difference of 20 minutes is not going to change anything. I know you're worried about her. We're all worried about her. But we need you to do this. Fine, I'll be up. He and Alyssa are close.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it has been an indeterminate amount of time since my last drink. I wouldn't mind going out if you all would like to go find something to drink.
Let's wait a minute. Also, because I worry about all of this.
Carrie has already
What-
grabbed her bag, thinking
what
that we were
time of-
leaving.
Night is it right now?
It's
That's-
not actually that late because you guys were
It was like sunset when the fight started.
yeah,
Well, it
So
was a
6
little
5
after
o'clock
sunset,
somewhere.
but
it was
Yeah,
a
it's
little
happy hour,
after
let's go.
sunset, but it's still not that late. It's probably still before
That's
midnight.
do we need to
Um,
be present for the balance of power to be adjusted?
You do.
So let's wait until that's done.
I have a GM question.
I have an answer.
What language or languages are these notes in?
A mix of English, French,
These aren't spell notes, correct? They're just regular, like,
well, there are
A
magic
huge-
notes as well.
okay.
Creole
Because
as well. Yeah,
Hmm.
French,
'Cause
English,
Carrie-
and Creole.
yeah, Carrie's had a bad experience trying to scan in a book of spells. So because she was going to offer to scan in the pages so that they could be translated and all that, but if there's spells in there, she will be extremely apprehensive of doing that.
So,
I mean, Larry can read all of it, and Brandon can read
Yeah,
all,
yeah.
or not
So,
Brandon, but Orpheus
uh,
knew it.
Harper has been sitting, like I said, cross-legged on top of the table with the notes spread out and the little book that she carries around open and is sort of doing translation.
Mhm.
And
I hope you understand. I hope you understand that Carrie is extremely uncomfortable that you are sitting on her sterile table.
yeah, I hope you understand that Harper doesn't give a shit. Um,
Carrie is just like, every time she realizes that's where you're sitting, she's just kind of like, oh, like,
Yeah.
but she's terrified of you, so she's not actually going to say anything to you.
so she'll stop writing for a minute and kind of look over some things and then go, "Hey, preacher man,
Yes.
speak Creole?
Yes.
Get over here."
I was going to stand up for you, Carrie, but I realized I don't know what sterile means, so I don't know why.
All right, so Henry will come up and will produce a scroll. All right, first of all, this is not a true name thing, so you're not signing anything over. I don't need you to list your full names. I just need you to make a mark on the scroll so that you can be included. I understand the importance of names. I understand why there's things you don't want to sign, but that's all that we need is just something that you've written to identify yourself.
Carrie
the magic here
missed the
written
part
down?
where, yeah, Carrie missed the part where you said, like, just sign whatever, and she signed her full name.
That's fine.
Orpheus gives his, his magical contract signature.
Just a simple sign from Micah.
We had a question about some of us are more than one.
Yeah.
I,
Well, here's a-
I am not one of those someones.
So here's
I
a
mean, I just
dumb
need everyone to close their eyes for a second.
dumb question. I mean, if some of you are more than one, do you want both parts of you to be covered?
I don't think my wife would like the idea of not remembering what she's getting up to and what I'm getting up to.
Okay, that's one of you. What about the others?
Is it even possible for me to leave Quackers out of this?
I mean, I don't know anything about him, but probably, I mean, he probably doesn't need to make a mark, and he'll probably remember anyways, because demons are like that.
Cool.
Carrie will point. I don't know who you are right now, Brandon. I don't know which one. I forget who you were when
Orpheus.
you came up. Okay. She'll kind of point to the shower, like the emergency shower behind you that has like a curtain if you want to go back there.
Yeah, close your eyes for literally half a second. Good Lord. All
No,
right.
I'm just saying that you could do it quickly. That way then you don't like have to coordinate people.
Don't
Do,
mind, don't mind him. He's a little sourpuss right now.
I was gonna say, does video surveillance keep you from changing?
I would say only. Well, I don't know. I'd leave that up to you.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, she's not going to be
in the
like
shower.
No,
Giggity.
Yeah, I
but
was
in
gonna
the
say, like,
main
she's not gonna
room
put-
there would be.
The
That's true.
specific,
She would
the
have-
specific
she would have
complication. The way I have it written, is. Give me a second.
Yeah, Carrie would have
100%
set up surveillance in every aspect of the building that she could.
The magic binding Orpheus and Eurydice can be fickle. It will sometimes swap the two without warning, almost as if it has a will of its own. This can sometimes get complicated since Orpheus and Eurydice can only switch when they are not being observed, even if only for the briefest of moments is needed.
Okay.
We have a
So
raid
theoretically-
incoming from Galaxy Fest.
Hey.
Welcome
Yay.
to Galaxy Fest with your party of 8.
Thank you, Galaxy
Theoretically,
Quest. Well, go ahead.
Hey, thanks, Galaxy
um,
Fest.
Galaxy Fest. Sorry, not Quest.
All right.
Great movie.
So theoretically, they could switch in between the frames of the camera.
Sure. All right. Is anyone not signing? Because I'm getting a sense that Anson may not.
Oh no, I'll sign. A.
Okay.
Walker.
Okay.
M. Moon.
Um,
I'm just wondering about the Quackers thing. Is there a demon named Quackers in
so
our midst?
Harper will sign, and then she will dig around in her bag and pull out a large rubber duck, a green glittery rubber duck.
What the hell is that?
She will put the bottom of it on a like stamp pad and then slap it against the spell and say, "Fucking appreciate it," and throw it back in the bag.
Anson, the duck is most definitely pinging as magic.
Is that a magic duck made of tires?
You don't know about rubber ducks?
It's
Yes.
a prison. It's a plastic prison.
Do you need to put it somewhere else? Like,
I can't.
that seems like a you problem.
It is.
Okay.
It is very distinctly a me problem.
I would be happy to help you find somewhere to dispose of it if you want in the future, but I won't provide unsolicited magical advice.
Oh, thank God.
All right, you've all signed. I'm gonna get back to trying to bring Alyssa back from wherever the hell she is.
If you need anything, you can call me. I can try to help.
I may take you up on that.
All right.
Do you need help with that?
What's that? What is he pointing at?
Which
The-
that
All the papers that you have scattered
Okay.
across the.
I was like, there's a lot of that in this room.
I can let you know, but I think I can get through it pretty easily and help Harper with whatever they need.
Cool.
Well,
Welcome to the asylum. I'm gonna go back to work.
And I don't think Mr. Walker's too far off. It may not be bad to take a few moments to maybe celebrate or
Celebrate. If that's the word.
Get acquainted would be my preferred verb.
Before you guys do that, from what you have been looking at with the translation,
Mhm.
I will allow an expertise, magic, or occult check to see what you're able to have gleaned from looking through these notes.
Deuce, do you want to assist or do you want to make the main roll?
neither.
I will
Neither?
assist.
I don't know magic or occult.
Oh,
Nice.
Okay.
okay. I guess it sounds like I'm making the primary role.
I was
I'm
gonna
working
say
as a
I
translator.
have magic, but Carrie would want to be scanning the documents that you find most. Basically, Carrie wants to scan in the documents so that they can be digitized and easily mapped and all that.
Yeah, I'm happy to assist.
I can either assist or make the main roll because I have a 15 in any of the magic stuff.
Well, I think it's also a matter of being able to read it.
Well, wasn't Harper writing down translations?
I was
or-
translating it. I was
Ah.
actively translating it. So,
That is a summation of my help as well. Translation and
so I'm happy to do an assist. Aaron, it's up to you how many assists you're going to allow and all of that jazz.
All that jazz.
I
What
mean,
was the highest bonus?
I have an 8, so you beat me.
I have a
5.
12.
All right, so I do have the highest bonus.
got a rock.
I can make the primary, I guess.
sure. Whatever y'all want to do.
Well, here's my assist. That's an 18 with teamwork.
I have favored foe wizards, if that matters.
Probably not in this case.
9. This isn't how magic's supposed to work.
Nope. Sure ain't.
Why do you have everything written down here? This is so strange.
There's nothing to do with color at all.
That is a 21 without any bonuses. I also have teamwork and favored foe demons.
All right.
I knew that was your favorite.
So I'm seeing at the moment a +7 to the primary.
Cool, so we're starting with a base of plus 22.
Sounds like it.
Cool, take a hero point. I'm using ultimate effort, sacred math.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have teamwork. This is the one character I have that doesn't.
Okay.
I was
Okay, you're
gonna say,
doing an
I was
ultimate
gonna say,
How the
effort.
heck does
Yeah,
Harper have
42.
teamwork?
Okay.
I was gonna say Carrie could help with teamwork, but I too isn't here.
All right. So with a 42, which is way higher than you needed, this is what you will be able to determine from Team Alice's notes. Team Alice had channeled the power of one of the nameless one through Anthony, through Miles. His blood was now infectious. A single drop of his blood would be enough to change someone into a blood brother, possibly, but it was also cumulative. So even if a single drop didn't do it, you drink enough of it, it'll happen eventually. The notes about the cult say that most of the cultists had no idea what they were doing. They would come and they'd do communion, and there would be a few drops of Miles's blood spread through the chalice, and they just watched to see who transformed.
Quick question. You
Answer.
said blood brothers?
Mhm.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Every person who was transformed into a blood brother gave power to the Nameless One, who in turn gave power to Miles, Anthony Miles. Everyone who was killed by one of the blood brothers, part of that spiritual energy fed the Nameless One. But in addition, everyone who dies after becoming a blood brother feeds the Nameless One.
There we are.
So the Nameless One feeds on death, is what I'm.
Yeah.
Death attached to it, essentially.
Yep. Now, here is the other potentially good news. It would take time to research the ritual, but you do think there is a way that you can transform everyone who was affected by Miles's blood back into an ordinary human.
Well, ordinary human plus therapy forever.
Plus therapy forever.
So a normal human.
However, from what you're seeing, performing this ritual would affect the bloodline up and down the chain, which means that it would also affect Dutch.
As in, it would turn him back into a normal human?
It would turn him back into an ordinary human being.
Would he die instantly, or would he age from the point he's at?
You're not sure.
Would it also affect Miles, though?
Probably. Although, at this point, Miles might be altered enough that removing the initial infection from Miles wouldn't be a significant input change on his abilities.
All right.
I mean,
which
it
means
sounds like right now, Miles is the avatar of this Nameless One.
This Nameless One sounds a lot like Mr. Moon. The being I faced.
Okay, well, we'll find out. I guess.
Perhaps a parallel aspect.
So I'll leave you guys to decide what you want to do with that, whether or not you want to reverse the ritual or not.
It's a tomorrow issue. Let's go get a drink.
Let's go get drunk.
And that sounds like a perfect place to wrap up tonight's episode.
Muse is not getting drunk. Muse has a class to teach tomorrow.
You can have some coffee with me.
You teach high school, right? You'll be fine. Put on Forrest
I was
Gump.
gonna say, to be fair, Carrie also teaches tomorrow. So
College professors, I feel like you're a little less gonna like bat an eye if they walk into the hangover.
yeah.
You won't be hungover if you stay drunk to the end of your shift.
I'm not teaching a band in pre-calc, not pre-calc, sorry, AP Calc, hungover or drunk.
You teach band and AP Calculus?
Yep.
Yeah, Carrie's advanced robotics is building part of the robotics, so that noise probably would be unpleasant.
I don't even think I know what calculus is. Let me tell.
Are you Googling when did calculus come out?
Just when it entered high school. For common knowledge.
All right. So, like I said, let's go ahead and break here for tonight. With our heroes going off to get a drink.
Roleplay episode next time.
Huh?
Roleplay episode.
Roleplay episode next time. thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you to our raiders. Around our network, tomorrow we will be back here continuing our one-shot season as Calvin takes us back to the world of Lancer and we get more giant mecha combat.
Woo! With the STF.
That's
with
right.
with the STF. On Saturday, we will have another NaNoWriMo write-in, hopefully. Andy is competing to raise money for Extra Life. I'll be posting the details for that into the chat. And we will be back here next week at this time with more from Arcade and our heroes. I'd also like to remind everyone watching that we do have a Patreon at patreon.com Untold Stories Project. We have some neat stuff on the Patreon and have some new stuff that will be showing up there very soon, including possibly my superhero novel. So, or one of my superhero novels. So with that, we will pass it around and see if anybody... Everyone, anything you'd like to share before we head out? And we'll start with Alex.
Hey, everybody. I actually don't think we have a NaNoWriMo write-in this weekend.
Oh, no? Okay.
Unless somebody else can run it, because I will be at UConn this weekend as the special guest. I will be there running some Mutants and Masterminds and talking about some fun and exciting new Mutants and Masterminds information that is coming out this weekend. So if you're in Michigan, come hang out. I've got room in at least one of my games still, and I always have a couple of secret characters behind the scenes. So if you're in Ypsilanti this weekend and you want to come hang out, please do so. Also, tomorrow night we have a Mutants and Masterminds developer Q&A over on Patreon. So that'll be a ton of fun. And next week, I'll be running another Mutants and Masterminds one-shot on Wednesday, taking place in Titan City during Thanksgiving. We're going to be dealing with a jailbreak from the underworld. It's going to be a ton of fun. Now I'll pass it over to who's next to me. Wiki.
I've got nothing. But remember, everyone, take notes. Do your GM a favor. And
especially if your character has eidetic memory.
Yeah. And we'll go to Aunt Poppy. Also, thanks for watching. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
So all I ask for is luck in the fact that I'm going to have to write a probably a sex scene in the next week for my book. So I'm already uncomfortable at the thought of it. So I could use some positive vibes as I attempt this.
You're gonna do great.
Wording.
Just get sticky. You'll be fine.
Because your girl here is not the romantic type, so she's not very good at it.
So can I just point out that it's always okay to fade to black?
Uh-huh.
That's true.
That's true. That's true.
You don't have to describe the sex scene.
Maybe I'll just have AI do it for me since I'm so uncomfortable by it. I'll just be like, please write me a nice, cute sex scene.
No.
I mean, look. All I'm saying is, I don't remember which comedian had a thing about it, but talking about how older movies, you would see the couple kiss and they'd go to bed and it would fade to black. And then the next morning you would see her wearing his shirt as a night shirt and making breakfast, and from the way that she was whipping those eggs, you knew that it was good.
Just fade to black.
So
I'm gonna need more girls to come out wearing men's shirts like that, because
there's fewer things hotter than a woman in a white dress shirt.
Oh man.
Damn.
Respect.
Cool.
I agree, but I don't agree in the way straight, but
respectfully, damn.
Sorry.
Disrespectfully, damn.
Staring with about as much respect as I can.
Yeah. Now I'm really warm, guys. Okay, but I think that's it. So I will pass it uncomfortably to Jemmy.
It's as good as a man with the dress shirt sleeves rolled up to the elbow.
Sorry, I'm
here for
laughing.
you, baby.
Oh yeah, dude.
The Those
I'm
forearms.
laughing at the
Oh
uncomfortable.
god.
Anyway, as the resident #1 AI hater of using AI to write stories, do not fade to black before you use the AI, please. Partly because of AI, I don't support writing, but partly because if it's pulling from the internet, it's pulling from badly written Wattpad that I was too young to be reading,
Mm.
and you don't want your 16 reading like that. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Come back next time to see Muse being apparently a man hater, just because I expect Muse will have questions for Anson and he might respond with mansplaining, and oh boy. That was cut short last time, but we don't have vampires to cut that short this time.
You don't know that.
Take care of yourself, everyone. Drink water, take your meds, eat something. We love you. Thank you for tuning in. Come back next time. Come tomorrow. I'll be playing Lancer, and that'll be fun. I'll be playing a very different character where I set myself on fire and kill
Intentionally.
things. Yeah. But yeah. Thank you all. Juice, have you gone?
Nah.
Over to you. Emotional
Aw.
support, please.
Emotional support, please, signing off. Thank you so much for watching however you do, whether it's live or after the fact. We appreciate you, love having you around, and love any content you can do. If you want Aunt Puppy to write more smut, get in the comments and tell her. If you want to fade to black, feel free as well. But either which way, just do something fun for yourselves. Thank you for being there. And remember, these games are made for people to come together and have a wonderful time. So get your friends, get people who don't know, make new friends, play these games. Just never, ever play a speedster. They're not cool.
Play a speedster.
And Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only thing I had to plug is the Lancer game that has been plugged a few times. Looking forward to playing in that. And as always,